All right, we are live, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Straight Out of Politics. I'm your host, Compton Jay, and I'm joined with my very inspiring co-host, Liv. How are you doing, Liv?
Hi, sorry. I'm doing okay, CJ. I do not see you right now. I do not think this is going to work because of, oh, now I see you, but you're frozen.
Wow.
I am in a hotel right now and on a mobile hotspot, and we've been having some technical difficulties. So I do
Yes.
not think I'm going to be able to make it through this stream, unfortunately.
Let's ask the audience before we do anything. If can everybody watching, can you see Liv fine? Can you hear her fine? Can you hear me fine? Are either one of us frozen? If you could put that in the comments or chat, we're just trying to determine what's happening with our stream here. So if anyone would be kindly, why is it worse? Hey fam, live positive. They're being positive about you. They're not telling us you're. It says looking good. Robert says looking good for the both of you.
This is
So
ridiculous. CJ is frozen on my end and he's like coming in and out, and I'm not even on Hotel Fi Wi Fi. I'm doing my mobile hotspot on my phone and it says the signal is strong and great. And this just really is frustrating.
right. So it's hard for you to respond or here and there. I don't know what we could do to fix it. Everybody seems to say they can hear and see us fine. I can
Yep.
hear you fine. It's just you're not getting the feed the right way. So um, I don't know what to do. We can try to wing it if you want. It's up to you.
Um,
Uh, Want to see how it goes?
we can try. Just know if I drop out, it's because I didn't want you to see me lose my temper with this frustration. But y'all, I can see that the comments are great. So like, keep the comments going. It's hard for me to really hear CJ, but I can see y'all in the comments. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let me turn my cam off. Is this any better? No, like
Well,
I
it would
it's
be
still
better
frozen.
for you. It would be better for
Nope.
you because we see
Yep.
you. Yeah.
Nope, CJ's still frozen, so y'all can see me.
Can you hear
CJ's
my
still
audio
frozen.
though? Can you hear my audio?
I can hear you. You're just choppy,
Okay.
and you're
All right.
frozen.
Let's try let's try to do this. So again, welcome to another episode of Straight Out of Politics. We're having some technical difficulty here, but we're going to try to get through this episode. Very, very important topic. It was something I tweeted out about American workers uh, uh, quitting in the millions, and it's like a trend that each month it's slowly going up, and with the last reported month being um, September. Let me see if I can bring up the tweet. Let's start there. Um, the last reported month being September. Actually, let's bring up this graphic. Yeah. So let me share my screen, and Liv, you chime in when you can, when you are able to hear clearly, and you want to chime in, do what you can, but understand visually, audio, we can hear you perfectly, like nothing's wrong. So just
Great.
keep that in mind. So let me share my screen here, and this is not the tweet, but this is the numbers from that tweet I put out for the tweet for this episode. But as you can see, April 3.9, May a little dip, and then June it went back up, July it went up, August up, September up. So the trend is still going up. And I can't remember. I think it was CNBC I was watching, and they're expecting this to go up for the next couple of months throughout the remainder of 2021. So I thought, since the tweet got such a response, which I was just completely, not, let me find it and see where it's at now. So I was completely caught off guard. So what I had originally had planned, I felt like this was a more resonating or a topic that seemed to resonate with more people. So I wanted to bring this on if I can find it. I think it's here. Here we go. So Americans are quitting their jobs in the millions each month, and that's the same numbers you show here, but we're up to 1,400. We'll go through some of the comments just so we can hear what people are saying about this. It just completely caught me off guard, but yeah, Liv, from what you heard so far, any comments that you, anything you wanted to jump in and say before we dive deep into this topic here?
Oh my God, I'm trying not to get, I can't really, your screen is frozen. So I see the Shirley Chisholm's quote right now, which is a great quote.
Right.
I just retweeted that the other day. But yeah, the Great Resignation is happening right now. I mean, that's, I think, one of the articles you're going to share.
Right.
That's what it's being coined. People are dropping, or people are quitting their job. The amounts are in the millions right now. So, I mean, if we've been talking about a general strike, I mean, I don't know what else you call this. So this is great. And because we're also seeing like the Great Resignation, it obviously impacting the people that are still working, and it's creating more burnout, and it's because it's furthering the workload on them. So I don't see this stopping anytime soon because I know burnout for real. Like I had that with my job as a caseworker or a case manager, and once you get that feeling of like misery, and you're like, this job is horrible, like I need to escape, like it's every day is painful in that job, and once you quit, once you're free from that, there is no going back because you just can't do that to yourself. You just can't.
Absolutely. And that's actually a great segue for the first video I wanted to share on this topic, which kind of goes along the lines of what you're saying about you can't never go back. So this story here, which surprisingly, it was on mainstream media. I was surprised that they did that. But here it is, a little snippet on Twitter. The Great Resignation, a record number of Americans quit their job in August. The biggest reason, burnout, and nearly 1/3 of workers who quit are now starting their own business, which is great. So let's play this video and then we'll talk about it on the other side here.
Nick Fulmer had pandemic panic, furloughed by his janitorial company 13 months ago when no one else was hiring.
If I'm going to have something, I'm going to have to create it. Hi, I'm Nicholas with Jetstream Clean.
Fulmer gambled with his family's savings to start Jetstream Clean, his carpet cleaning business along the Alabama-Georgia border.
How's it paid off?
Well, I've doubled my money and my salary.
Doubled.
COVID America has become a nation of quitters, job quitters. Millions of workers like Fulmer leaving the job market for good, often to become their own boss. In one survey, nearly 1/3 of workers who quit started their own business. Ominously for employers, in another survey, 95% of workers said they were thinking about quitting.
Let me go back to that graphic right there. Put that on the screen. 95% of workers are thinking about quitting in this poll. Let me see who this poll is for. Oh, monster.com. 95%. I'd say that is fertile ground for a general strike, or at least the beginning of a general strike, because you have it where the working population is saying we're fed up with our current jobs. Now, corporate media doesn't like to point out the fact that these are wages. They love to put in a bunch of other mashup of reasons, but the wage could fix some of those reasons. For example, they love to say, "Oh, childcare, can't afford it." Guess what? You can afford if you get paid $35 an hour. Guess what you now can afford? It's childcare. So they try to pretend like, is not, wage is not the biggest thing. It's everything else. It's perks. It's 401k. It's all these other bonuses. But I think this number here, Liv, I'm going to let you comment from what you've heard so far. I don't know how much you have been able to hear, but this number, 95%, what you say that speaks to I guess the hunger, I don't know if the hunger is the hunger for a general strike, or the hunger at least for better labor work-life balance. Can you speak to that, Liv?
Okay, so I can, but I kind of barely heard you, and I did not see the video, and I cannot see the graphic, and it's only getting worse. So I'm getting increasingly frustrated, and feel like I'm about to burst out crying. So I think I'm just gonna leave the stream and join in the comments section.
Gotcha.
And thank y'all. I'm really sorry. I was really looking forward to this today. This was supposed to be the best part of my day, and this clearly not working. So I'm so sorry. Hopefully I'll be here next week. I'll go join in the comments though.
Yes. And we'll talk about this, but what I want to say about this, and I hope that you don't mind I'm pointing this out, is that I'm a person who has very hyper anxiety, like off the charts, right? So something like this would drive me insane. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what anxiety is about. It's about feeling of everything crashing down, but nobody is seeing that this is existing here. Like, what the hell? You get what I'm saying? So I get that. So I completely understand. That's the point of view for me. I'm not saying that's Liv's point of view, but that's my point of view if I was in the same situation. So Liv, we will see you in the comments. If you can hear what I'm saying, we will see you in the comments, but I'll continue with the show, and then I'll go in the comments to get your back and forth. This will be kind of cool to see how this works out. Yeah, so I'll see you in the comments. All right, so let's put this back up on the screen here. So I was just saying 95%, or in this poll, 95% of workers polled in this poll are thinking about quitting their job, and I think that speaks to the hunger for a general strike, at least, or at least the interest, or the slippery slope, I guess you can say, of leading or snowballing into a general strike. And I do have a couple of other graphics or media to show you. Let me bring that up. And then I'll get to the comments and bring some of you in on that. This is a very unique way we're doing the show today. So, let me share this new video here. Okay, so, oh wow, did it switch? Let's see. Oh, it did. All right, so let's share this new video. Let me share this new video here. This one is from stockscap.com, their Twitter page. It's a snippet of CNBC talking about this topic. I may not play the entire thing because, again, this is a corporate network reporting on this, so it is from the point of view of a capitalist. But there is some good information in it. So let's go ahead and play this video here.
There has been a tsunami of job resignations in the U.S. workforce recently. Still, there are many workers who want or need to remain in their roles. So what is the impact on those who stay on the job? CNBC senior personal finance correspondent Sharon Epperson joins us now with more on that. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. A new survey from the Society of Human Resource Management finds that more than half of workers who remain on the job after colleagues have left say they've had to take on more work and responsibilities.
So there's this vicious cycle. Employees leave, which means all of their work has to be done by the employees who remain. And the employees who remain now say, I'm working too hard, I don't have balance in my life, et cetera. And so then they want to leave, and thus a vicious cycle continues.
I'm going to pause it there because this is a point that not a lot of people bring up about when we're talking about this great resignation, when we're talking about the so-called labor shortages, the people that are still there working, those people, they're taking on a larger workload. And do you believe they're getting paid more? Or let me put it a different way. Do you believe they're being paid adequately for the additional workload they took on? So they may have thrown them, 50% raise, $1 raise, but do you believe that worker is being paid sufficiently for the amount of work they were doing before? And now they have this added labor, added pressure, added stress, more work hours. Nobody's talking about that. And all these employers say is, we love them. It never translate economically into money. It's their family. We love them. And this comment here, people are fed up. Holly, yes. What's up, Holly? People are fed up. So let's continue this video up until they get out of control. Let's see.
Nearly a third of workers report struggling to get necessary work done, and more than half wonder if their pay is high enough. Carol Sloan, a project manager in New Jersey, says more resources would ease her burnout and burden.
More resources. So more resources in terms of individuals to help with the load. Obviously, some type of compensation, if it's an increase, a spot bonus, the recognition that, everyone's working really hard to continue to deliver for the organization.
Ah, shoot. I've been muted this whole time. There goes Rome. Let me bring in Rome. How you doing, sir? Hey, what's up, bro? Did you come on because you saw I was muted? Did you come on because you saw I was muted, sir, or you just joined because you was joining? I've been muted this whole time for like 3 minutes. I've been muted. Right on, sir. What you doing? What you getting into?
Oh shit! Now I'm getting ready to hit this damn thrift store, but I wanted to, jump in. Like everybody quitting and shit like this. I'm like, shit, this is my time. I need some more niggas on the ground. I ain't about to lie to you. We gotta really give these people something to do. Like a lot of people do want to work, but they're not gonna work for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't get a good pay, at least it'll benefit them, their community, whatever it is.
Right.
So I think it's time to really start.
Uh-oh, I think you're cutting out Rome right here. I can't hear you yet. Oh, I think Rome, did you cut out, sir? I can't hear you. Thanks, Liv. I was talking for like 3 minutes with my mic off. So I'm going to say all of that over. I'm going to say all of that over in just a moment here. There he goes. There goes Rome back.
My bad. My dumb ass went outside. I forgot this is my other phone. It's not my real phone. But not as far as
you were saying this is our time. This is your time. These people are out of work. So what are you saying? What should we be doing? What should we be doing to talk to these people?
What we're not going to do is, we can't help with bills as far as sharing GoFundMe's or getting out there in the communities. If it takes for you to knock on doors, ask these people what they need because you have the resources or the people to help them, whatever the hell it is in any kind of way. But we really got to start giving these people some type of hope. Like people want to see that hope, and there's a lot of people who are into politics who ain't you know, and they feel left out. And you giving them hope, not only as socialists and communists coming with things, shiny things in their hands, but you know, you giving them hope for a better future. Like if anything was to ever fall down, you know, we actually have each other backs. You know what I'm saying? We actually can outlive these strikes. You know what I'm saying? We can feed each other through these strikes. We can get our message out there throughout all this we're doing all of it. And I think all it takes for you is to really get out here on the streets. Like I'm telling you, that's all it takes. And people are gonna lead by example. And I'm telling you, a lot of you already have what it takes, man. You born to be a leader, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. But that's a good thing. You know, hey Liz, like hey love.
Rome, hello. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I had to try and join again because Rome came on, of course. So I had to try again.
Yeah. Oh, we can hear you fine, Liv.
Okay,
just so you know, we can hear you fine.
I'm on my phone. I'm gonna try and join on my computer so I can see the chat. But thank you for bearing with me, y'all.
Awesome. Go ahead, Rome. Finish what you were saying. I think what you're saying is important. Is that this is a good time for us to reach out and make people understand their value, because they're clear. I mean, quitting a job, you're clearly saying this company doesn't value me.
Yes.
And I don't think, or if from what I hear you're saying you don't want people to kind of like sit in that, wallow in that. Yeah.
Yes.
So go ahead, sir. Continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, that was basically what I said. I don't want them to sit. I don't want these hardworking people that know how to do all these things from tech to stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying? All these jobs, it might seem like a low paying job or a minimum wage job, but those are powerful positions that you are holding. You have to know that if you was to stop, a lot of things are going to slow down. Like we have seen the Democrats tell you guys no to $15 an hour. You guys said no to work, and what happened? They gave you $15 an hour without bills being passed, right? The companies had to do it because the people said it. But what we have to do is get in their ears at this time, use this time while they're not at work, while they bosses not, you know what I'm saying, getting in their heads, telling them that they have to do this and do that to survive. And we can help them survive. We can teach them, educate, and get out there, whatever, any way you can. We can take advantage of this time and really get more people comfortable with calling themselves leftist, communist, socialist, or doing more mutual aid in their communities and whatnot. You know, you might see whole communities turn over with bunches of people doing mutual aid, giving away. Because now I got a handful of people doing the same thing I'm doing in certain spaces, but it's gonna take some time. But, you know.
You got one right here, Rome. You got Live right here was inspired by you and is doing work. Yeah. And how was that going for you, Liv? How was some of the mutual aid some of the work you learned to do from Rome? How was that going for you?
It's just so crazy. So I did a mutual aid run yesterday while we were waiting to check into our new hotel, and I just bought a pack of bottled waters, and got some cash. And I went and distributed it, and people recognized. People were like, "Hey, you've been gone a while. Where you been?" Like,
what?
People with these relationships, these communities that we're forming, it's happening right now. Just from going out and meeting the people and meeting them where they're at and helping their needs, and that gets the conversation going. So like yesterday, I was just going out, and they're like, "Hey, like where have you been?" And I was like, "This is my situation right now, and I I haven't forgot about you. I'm here. I love you. We're together." And the amount of "I love yous" I heard yesterday, and like, "How are you?" and "We've missed you." Like, it was amazing.
Do you get that, Rome, too? When, like, if people have, like, when you travel to another state and then you come back, they're like, "What the hell you been?" You are people like counting on you to be there?
I mean, I wouldn't say counting on me, but they'd be like, you know, like, damn, man, I thought you would never come back or something like that, whatever it is. Like when I went back out there in Toledo, Ohio, I did another clothes run, and I went to the projects again. It was like, damn, like, oh shit, you the nigga with the diapers. It was like, no, I thought you were gonna come back. I thought niggas do that shit for clout. Like, no, nigga, I'm just traveling everywhere. It's just me. No, if y'all help me out, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I do. But I think I have a different goal overall with my mutual aid, because what I'm doing is what Malcolm X told me to do. Was use these moments in history when people are down to build your armies. You know what I'm saying? To pull these people out of the dirt. And that way, that's why I go to the blackest of the blackest towns, or the most violent towns, because I need people that, you know, that I relate to, for one. And we're not going to overthrow the government with a whole bunch of people saying hands up, don't shoot. I need people who already lost it all, et cetera, et cetera. But if that's your goal, it can be done. You know, just get the fuck out here, because it's so many people. Like, you would think, like, people think their communities are big or the cities are big. No, the world is huge. You know what I'm saying? America is huge itself. Get out here, and you never know who you aspire. You never know who's watching you or who's learning from you. So Rome,
you know what we need to get done for you? I'm just thinking of this. I'm throwing it out. I'm not saying that, you know, RBN is saying we're going to do this. We need to get you some sort of literature to pass out. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you can't, you know what I mean? If you have 50 people right there, you can't have 50 different conversations, but you can pass somebody. You get what I'm saying? You may not have time to have 50 different conversations, but you can be like, here you go. You know, just something small where you really get to the point that really touch, you know, people where they're at. But we got to get something like that for you and Liv, like for anybody that's doing this type of groundwork. We need to have information, because this, like you said, times like this is when you build an army, but you can only build an army with education. Education is key.
Educate to liberate. Educate to liberate. And once you educate enough people and you get them pissed off enough, or not even pissed off, whatever, just educated enough, they would know who their targets actually are. So now we're not in these times stealing from each other, robbing each other, you know, taking from whoever is just as poor as you. You know who your targets, you know what I'm saying, should be if you're going to go to the range, I should say.
Yes, sir.
But I do got some literature. My friend Joshua is working on some literature right now for me, and we're just trying to get the quotes right and the pictures right and stuff like that. But I should have it out in the next week or so.
Yeah.
And as far as like you know, Tour for the Port getting an LLC, so I'm gonna be hiring people pretty soon, stuff like that. So we're gonna be taking off, and like I said, building an army. I hope y'all ready.
This is what Rome, like, the last several weeks have been kind of rough, not rough, but interesting for us. And this is what the elite who call themselves left. I'm going to stop using the word boutique left, because case study said that is a smear to them. So I'm going to stop using that to refer to them. But this is what the crowd that espouses the same policies we say but never do anything, this is what they don't like about us. As we're actually physically doing things that matter, that affect the community, and they're not. You get what I'm saying? It's like two dudes coming into a club, you know what I'm saying, built bodybuilders. The dudes that's already in the club, they're gonna be looking like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want these dudes here. You get what I'm saying? So they're gonna hate on them, and that's exactly. It's like we don't have muscles, but our muscles is our community activity. That's the muscles and we just joined this club. We just went into the
why,
club.
That's why I can't be canceled.
Yes.
That's why I can't
Yes.
be canceled. I refuse to bow down to the cancellations. I refuse to bow down to any of that shit. None of this shit matters because nigga, I'm really feeding people out here and making communism and socialism have a beautiful face out here in Detroit. I'm not just out here you know what I'm saying, beating my chest or having a circle jerk. Like I move by myself, you know what I'm saying? Just because I don't want nobody to when I'm out here in Detroit, I move by myself because I don't want nobody to co-opt a message or be too scared to say the things that I say or do what I fucking do. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you're gonna have to go out there and really snap off, and then the people who that's, you know what I'm saying? There's only certain people that I trust. As y'all can see, you know, I got a handful of people that I will trust with the #12 for the poor hashtag. Actually, I think that's my ride to. Yep, that's my ride to the thrift store.
Okay, so you gotta check out. But thanks for joining us. We'll be on for a while, so if you get a chance to come back, that's cool. I'll be on later on tonight too, so you can hop in whenever you want.
Love you.
I just had to say that because man, these are times, bro. These are the fucking times, and we got to take advantage of this shit. Like we got to take advantage of every second.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let a second waste. Don't let these doubters get in your head. Don't let these naysayers say that you can't do it. Nothing is impossible. Only the quitters use that word, bro. We don't use that word. Everything is possible. We're gonna flip this bitch. We're gonna burn this bitch out. Whatever metaphor y'all want to use when we're talking about what we're about to do. But I
like flip this bitch. I like flip this bitch. That sounds good. I like flip this bitch. All right, Rome. Peace and love. All right, sir.
All right.
All right. So yeah, great to have that Rome always interjects energy into a conversation. So, and I'm, of course, I'm happy to see that you're back. The phone seems to be working a lot better for you. So
it is. My phone is dying, even though it's charging.
Okay.
So I'm at 44%. So I'll ride this out till we die, y'all.
Right. Yes, sir. And thanks to Rome. I'll put that comment up. Absolutely. Thanks, Rome. So yeah. Just to kind of comment more on what he was saying about the conversation, he wanted to talk to the people that are quitting. So it's still along the same lines of the general, the great resignation. But he's saying that the people who are quitting, like, you're valuable. Like, don't think the skill you have isn't valuable because a capitalist doesn't want to pay you what you're worth. So he's right. I think this is the time to build an army of labor, to build an army of workers. This is the time. Like this, I mean, it just feels so right. Liv, 2 years ago, maybe 2 years coming up, my life was completely different than what it is now. So my life was completely different. I was a liberal maybe like 2 years ago. But when I use the word liberal, I use it loosely because I was a liberal, but I was always like not 100% down with the liberals. So, and then, just a couple of, tragic family events that happened. Just anxiety grew, immediate family kind of broke apart. And I hit rock bottom. And then that's when I said, I have to stop caring what other people think. And what do I want to do? I need to live the rest of my life doing what I want to do and not doing what people want me to do. And was my turning point. And at the same time, all of my political awakening was going on. I began to read more about the history of slavery and the connection to capitalism. So all of this is happening at the same time, right? So, and then the pandemic hits. So it feels like this is it. Like, we can't let this moment pass us by. The pandemic the one good thing, or one of the good impacts of the pandemic, if you can say there, you can be a good impact of the pandemic, is that people seem to have
silver lining.
Huh?
A silver lining.
Right, a silver lining. People seem to have waken up, or more people are waking up. I'm going to say that more people are waking up saying,
it was kind of the catalyst that got people. That is waking people up continually, still happening.
Right. So you hear and see the same thing I'm seeing. Like, people seem to be like maybe they're not as leftist as you and I live, but they're still going like, this capitalism just doesn't seem right. Are you seeing sort of the same thing, Liv?
Yeah. So you said 2 years ago. Wow. Can you believe that it's first off, it's the 1st of December. We're almost at the end of 2021. And we're almost coming up on the 2-year anniversary of this being a pandemic. So like, kind of reflecting back, where I was at the beginning, I was miserable working. I was overworked, underpaid, like so many others. And I was absolutely miserable. And I thought like a higher paying job was going to solve all my problems. And then I quit that job for this job, for another job. And then that job got rescinded because I couldn't pass a drug test because I have my medical cannabis card. And I even told them about that and provided all the documentation needed to say that why I need it. But they still rescinded the job offer, which means I was unemployed and unable to apply for benefits. So then I tried to find another job so I could make ends meet. And I did. I found a remote COVID-19 contact tracer job. But I also was like, I just feel like I don't like working, and I felt like everyone was telling me like, you need to go back to school, like, because your bachelor's doesn't really mean anything. Like, you need your master's, and then you'll be set. Then you can get a salary, and you'll be fine. So that's why I felt like I needed to go back to school and get my master's. So I thought I could, do the whole thing, because everyone told me like, oh, it's a part-time program, so you're supposed to be able to work. Well, I spiraled into, or at least I didn't spiral. I began flirting with the depressive episode and caught myself before I spiraled into one. Because I was so overwhelmed with school, life, work. I ended up getting terminated from my job for underperforming, and I have yet to get all my unemployment benefits from that. That was November 17th, 2020 when I was terminated, and I have yet to get all my unemployment benefits from that. Then so I was like, okay, I'm going to focus all on school. And then I was trying to do that up until about 2 months ago, when I started flirting with another depressive episode that really probably started when the IPCC climate report came out, saying basically we're headed towards extinction. This is the deal. And then a few weeks later, Joe Biden said that report was insufficient enough evidence to stop the Gulf Coast drilling.
And the Sunrise Movement, they endorsed him. That guy, they said that. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the climate president, y'all. Like, that's what we were going to push him left to be, the climate president. That was what we had people saying that was going to happen. When he's the architect of the system, and his history, he's been in office for generations, for decades. And we know what his history is. And he's made it very clear that he's bought by big pharma, big oil, and he's going to maintain their interests, and nothing will fundamentally change. So that's exactly what's been happening. So when I heard that report, when Joe Biden made that decision, and then shortly after that, 22 animal species and plants were declared extinct. And then shortly after that, there was an article released saying that bats, bumblebees, and butterflies are set to go extinct within the next decade. So between all of that, I was like, honestly, I was like, fuck school, fuck work. What does this matter? Like, I feel crazy because I'm like sitting here screaming, the world is ending. And people are telling me, well, get a job. You'll be fine. Get a job. Like, you don't have a place to live right now and you're unemployed. Like, just get a job. You're one person. What can you do? You're one person. So they're trying to, like gaslight you into making you feel like you can't make a difference. And you know what? The odds are stacked against you. So you might as well give up and give into the system. And I'm not fucking doing that. I've never done that. I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it's some similar things in both of our sort of our brief stories, because I'm sure we both have a ton of detail that we can go into about that. I do want to get to some comments.
Yes.
But I think people are reassessing a lot of things. They're realizing that the pay is not enough. Because is it really worth it to work 50 hours to barely pay stuff when you can just have one person in the household work if you're married and live off that income and have a better quality of life? Yeah, you have less money, but you're home with your family. You don't have the stress. People are deciding that could be better. That's a better life because it's more balanced. And we figured out that, hey, you can work from home. You don't have to go into a place. But what are capitalists still saying? No, we want to see you work because we don't believe you're going to work as hard as you need to if we don't physically see you working.
Yep.
So yeah. So let me play another a video here because I want to kind of talk now, Liv, about mainstream media's how they cover this great resignation.
The Great Resignation. I would love to talk about that because you said, I think before when I had my spotty signal, you said you did see something from corporate stream media, not mainstream.
Right.
Corporate stream media saying something about the numbers. Most of what I've been seeing is like, oh, we've done these many hires. We're getting back on track. The economy is going. I just like those were news articles that I got alerts for, but I have seen like still the Great Resignation trending on Twitter. But the news articles I'm getting alerts for say otherwise.
Right, because they don't want it's like it's happening. First off, this has been going on, and they're really just now covering it. Because they, anytime any sort of worker, anything in labor that may add to the cost, they don't really want to cover that because then it might spread. You get what I'm saying? It might spread. The idea of it may spread. So they cover it differently on corporate media. So let me play one of these videos here. It is from YouTube. So let's play this one. I have. All right. So I won't, set it up or anything. I'll just go ahead and play it. There's only 38 seconds here.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, let me start that over. Let me put the sound on. There we go.
Americans are quitting jobs at record pace. Nearly 4.5 million people walked away in September. That's an all-time high, which a record was broken. Difficulties finding childcare, along with retirement and government pandemic assistance, are being cited as some of the reasons. Could be the low pay and difficult conditions too.
This is why I wanted to play this video. You hear how he named a bunch of stuff, and then he said, "Oh, it could be the low paying wages too." Like just trying to skip it. Like I'm serious. I noticed stuff like this. So I don't know if I could turn it up more, but I want everybody to be able to hear this. Listen to what he's saying here.
And government pandemic assistance are being cited as some of
when he goes into the reasons for people quitting.
It's an all-time high and the second straight month in which a record was broken. Difficulties finding childcare, along with retirement and government pandemic assistance, are being cited as some of the reasons. Could be the low pay and difficult conditions, too. Job openings also at an all-time high.
I mean, you can't get more blatant than that. You can't get more blatant than that. He literally mentioned government benefits months after they've been removed. He literally he's mentioning government benefits, clearly says it loudly, and then he says it could be. Oh, and it could be.
Okay, CJ, let's fucking talk about those benefits because I'd like to see them.
Right, because you never got yours.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on mine, hon. Actually, I want to share this right now because I bet this is happening more. My friend just told me about a class action lawsuit against the Hogan administration, who is the governor of Maryland, saying that the unemployment benefits and how they have been rolling out so slowly and everything have violated federal law. So look in your state if this is also happening, if there is a class action lawsuit for unemployed people who are trying to sue the state to receive additional payment on top of making sure that we fix this broken system. So yeah.
So in your state, it's happening. So in your state, there is one, and you're gonna be part of that lawsuit.
I'm calling the Public Justice Center since apparently I'm not going to be on this 5:30 stream because of my technical difficulties. I'm going to call them right after the stream. Absolutely. The Public Justice Center.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So if you live in a state and you're unaware, this is great information, because if you are supposed to receive your unemployment benefits in a timely manner or in a particular time frame, and you're not, there might be a lawsuit that's going on in your state. And of course, this would not be on corporate media. They will not cover anything like that. So let me play this next video. This episode does have an unusually large number of videos, but I felt like how corporate media is covering it needs to be exposed. I'm not sure when people are watching propaganda that they know they're watching propaganda. So I like to point out what I believe is propaganda. So, but anyway, let's play this video. I think this one is from Fox, and it's the guy from the show Dirty Jobs. I think he's on his episode. So let's play this here. I'm likely not going to play all of it because then they start talking blatantly about corporatism from a corporate point of view and how workers are lazy. I mean, I can play it just so you can hear what they're saying, but let's play it.
No, you'll make me sick.
The Department of Labor show millions of people quitting their jobs. Roughly.
I heard what you said, Liv. It's good. It may make you sick. So let's see what happens here.
4.4 million workers quit their jobs in September, while officials reported more than 10 million job openings. Joining me now is Mike Rowe, host of How America Works on Fox Nation, and he is here with us to make it all sensible. Actually, it's Fox Business. Fox Business, prime time.
Wait a minute. Did that say 3% of the workforce?
You know what else is awkward? I'm wearing the same shirt here that I was in that promo.
Oh, how funny. Oh, you're so funny.
It's a good shirt,
how
though.
funny you are.
Your eyes. What is
You're
going
wearing
on?
the same
Why are all
you're wearing
these
the same
people
shirt.
quitting their jobs? But
sorry,
not
my computer
jobs?
is acting up.
Look,
all right.
I mean, the honest answer is a 300-page book. I can't get around to finishing, but in general.
All right. Sorry, I had to start that over because the thing kept glitching. Go ahead, Liv. With their comment, what was said in the video. What was your comment?
Did that say 3% of the workforce has quit?
Yes. Why they're having their brain only 3%, and they're going crazy. Think about that, Liv. If we had a general strike and we just pushed that to 5%,
right? Isn't that what you've been saying? We only need like 3% to have them. We are there, CJ.
Yes, like that's it. They're pulling their hair out just over this.
Love it.
Imagine 6%. Imagine 9%. They would not be able to function. That's why I don't think people, the average worker, really don't understand the power that they have. They really don't get it, in my opinion.
No.
They don't fully understand it, in my opinion. Opinion. So let's. Oh shoot! You know what? Let's play this video. It's good that I mistakenly closed that video. I'll come back to it, but this is a better video. It goes a little more in detail, so we're gonna play a little bit more of it, but it's good information, so I do want to play it. We'll start and stop it in different places, so let's play this video.
The last few years, Americans have been going on strike and shutting.
So let me give a little introduction to this video because they're using the word striking, but they consider quitting your job as striking from labor. So they kind of sum it up again, but that's what they're referring to, striking from labor, and they will kind of explain that in the video too. So here we go.
American workers are fed up. Over the last few years, Americans have been going on strike and shutting down workplaces at rates not seen in decades, culminating in terms like the Great Resignation and Striketober in 2021. But why do workers go on strike? And why does it seem strikes have made such a major comeback in the last few years?
Strikes are really the most powerful tool that working people have to assert labor power in the workplace on any given day over any issue.
First things first, what exactly is a strike? It's not workers simply protesting.
It's a basic condition of human rights and freedom that we all have the power over our own labor. And so the right to withhold your own labor is really what a strike means. And that is the one right that can't be taken away from workers. Workers may be poor, they may not feel like they have a lot of power, but they can always choose to withhold their own labor, and that is what a strike is, and it's the most fundamental power that working people have.
Strikes are the ultimate weapon in the arsenal of organized workers. See, you as an individual worker have little leverage over your boss in any given negotiation because of your boss's ability to hire and fire. But once organized, your ability to collectively withhold your labor adds leverage to you and your co-workers' demands. These demands are brought to management.
I love this graphic, so I'm going to go back to this graphic here because it's a perfect illustration for workers to see how our power works. Like visually see, like you like we talk about it, people power. They have the money, so that gives them the leverage that's giving them the leverage thus far. But if you see how if you add people, right? If you add people, it rises and the power dynamic changes. So yes, it's very elementary, it's very, basic, but I just wanted to, say that part. Understand we have the power, and this perfectly illustrates that. So let's finish or play more of this video here. Alrighty, now.
Are brought to management through a process known as collective bargaining. Traditionally, unions represent workers in the collective bargaining process.
Working people have.
Strikes are the ultimate weapon in the arsenal of organized workers. See, you as an individual worker have little leverage over your boss in any given negotiation because of your boss's ability to hire and fire. But once organized, your ability to collectively withhold your labor adds leverage to you and your co-workers' demands. These demands are brought to management through a process known as collective bargaining. Traditionally, unions represent workers in the collective bargaining process. So, if employers are unwilling to negotiate, workers can raise pressure for a better deal by organizing a strike. All work is suspended until the employer and employee are able to come to an agreement. Workers' power comes from their ability to withhold their labor until employers are willing to meet their demands. And that's how strikes, and the threat of strikes, have secured favorable working conditions, higher pay, and better benefits for workers going all the way back to the Industrial Revolution.
Not every strike is successful, certainly, but strikes have been, by and large, necessary in order for workers to express their power and make the gains in which they desire in order to achieve the goals in which they have laid out for themselves.
But going on strike is a huge risk. American workers who go on strike don't get paid, lose their health care, and could even be fired.
So workers are kind of voluntarily giving up their paycheck in hopes of making gains down the road. But also in certain situations, you may be in the position of losing your job permanently.
The right to strike has been a major point of contention throughout U.S. history.
The late 19th and early 20th centuries are known as the kind of the violent era of American labor history, and for very, very good reason, because a lot of workers died trying to make lives better for themselves. You were largely going to be facing a combined effort by both the employers but also the state to crush that strike, oftentimes violently through the deployment of the army, but more commonly state National Guards. So strikes are very, very, very difficult to win during those years before the 1930s.
In 1935, the National Labor Relations Act was passed, and the right to strike was legally protected in the United States.
A huge strike wave in 1934 with 4 gigantic strikes across the nation forces the Roosevelt administration, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and his allies to come up with real labor legislation that doesn't happen without the gigantic strike wave of 1934.
Let's pause it right there, because the telling of history about FDR is that he's this great progressive. No, that was striking workers and communists putting pressure on FDR. That's the reality of what happened. It wasn't like he was just, oh, let me come up with these programs. No. People were taking to the streets striking. And that's what happened. So, I know corporate media loves to, fetishize FDR, but he had pressure on him. The same pressure that could work even today if we were to apply it. So yeah, let's watch a little bit more of the video, then we're gonna end this video.
Forces the Roosevelt administration, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and his allies to come up with real labor legislation that doesn't happen without the gigantic strike wave of 1934, with millions of Americans going on strike and forcing politicians to realize that they had to create a method by which workers could win what they were demanding.
Now, right after World War II, workers engaged in the largest strike wave in American history, with 5 million workers going on strike in 1945 and 1946. The victories...
Today, I'm going to show you how to make the survival food that saved America during the Great Depression.
Oh, look at this.
So long.
That's capitalism.
Victories won by these striking workers led to decades of shared prosperity and historically low levels of economic inequality.
And this new era of consumerism is going to begin to pull many members of the working class into the middle class. There's going to be a massive economic gains for the working class.
I think we're going to stop it right there. But that video contained a lot of good information. And what stood out to me in that last part was what brought about a lot of what FDR did. The number he said, did you hear it? He said 5 million workers. That's all it was. 5 million workers. Now, it's all relative to the population at the time. But but we can scale it to the population now. But just think about that. 5 million workers is what got FDR to do a lot of the things that he did. And he kept getting elected, because he had to respond to this pressure. So what are your thoughts on any part of this last video, Liv, or the idea of being able to match what happened at that time, putting pressure through a labor movement to bring about change, like FDR style change?
Well, first off, this was a great video and so informative, because I'll speak for myself. I never learned about labor movements throughout history, And that was never something I learned about as to why the New Deal was enacted and why FDR did it in the first place. It wasn't until recently that I learned that socialist and communist parties were behind, getting the New Deal passed and getting our workers' rights and ending child labor and stuff like that. Like, because, that's a lot of the relearning we have to do because of the whitewashing of history that we're propagandized and force-fed. So, and like what you said, like part of what radicalized you is learning more about slavery and the connection to capitalism. And, so I know for me, one of the big things was learning about why the police became to be the police in the first place, which is because they were formed to capture, sell, and enslave runaway slaves. So like, learning history really does radicalize us. It helps us to understand the conditions we're living in now, which also radicalize us because look around. But we do that through working together. Like, you may realize that, but you might just be thinking that to yourself. Like you need to be like talking with your coworkers, with your community, fellow community members. To get this going, because right now, especially under America, where we're all promoted the individualism and it's just me, like I'm quitting. But it's like, we're quitting. What do we want to do with this? Like all of us quit. Like, what do we want to see from this movement? What demands do we want to make? Because that's what I think is holding us back right now. I think there's so many people have quit right now. I think it's just trying to get us all on the same page to say like, no, we need to make sure, like right now, like general strike, mutual aid, revolution now, like that is the course forward. And I think we kind of just have to get everyone onto the same page that like, yeah, it's not just that like you need a better paying job to get by in this system. It's that the system is working the way I saw someone in the comments. It's fully working as the way it was intended to.
Yes.
It's benefiting those that created the system to begin with. And it's doing exactly as it intended. So there is no reforming this system. There is only abolishing, dismantling, and rebuilding. That's the only way forward. And I think more people need to get on that page. So we need to be doing the work. We got to be doing this. We got to be spreading the word, radicalizing our coworkers, just getting out in our community and connecting with people that way. Social media, whatever. We all have our place in this revolution. Just
absolutely. Absolutely. And, just kind of piggybacking off what you're saying, people like just workers are fed up, or a comment I saw. So that made me think of the General Strike Summit. And so I wanted to play one of the videos from one of this is one of the nurses, striking nurses, and great guy, Bill. We have a couple of videos of him actually. I don't think I'm going to play both of them, but here's one. He's a Miami. Actually, he's one of the negotiators for the Massachusetts nurses. And this video, he talks about how he's a Democrat and he's not going to vote Democrat anymore.
Yep.
And it's because he's not getting anything. They're not doing anything. So let me go ahead and play this, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
And then fast forward quickly to where we are now and what's happened since the Trump administration. And you could see it because everywhere, the entire cabinet was made up of billionaires. And if you didn't get it then, I mean, we did, as far as me as a nurse and my wife, who's a teacher, a special ed teacher, if we're not seeing that it's for-profit corporatization of education, healthcare, you name it, all the way down the line, we're screwed if we don't do something. So we end up going on strike because of safe staffing and proper PPE equipment. And then furloughing in the middle of a pandemic, they furloughed over 100 nurses. And they said they could collect unemployment. A tenant saved money, and we said we're in big trouble. We're gonna have to strike. And so doesn't it come down in March? We did call for strike. And now you're talking, I think we're 256 days. I can't even remember.
Longest strike for nurses in
Massachusetts history. And anyway, so I was just telling your colleagues here that I said, I don't know if I'm really the one to talk right now because I'm so angry. And I'm angry at, I'm a Democrat, predominantly my whole life. I told some of the local Democrats here that I said, I'm not voting Democrat coming 2022, 2024. I'm going to vote socialist. I'm going to vote Green Party. I am done.
That's like one of my, that last line is like one of my favorite, what makes this one of my favorite clips that we've had so far. I mean, he's like, I'm a Democrat, and I told him I'm voting socialist, I'm voting Green Party. So this speaks to what I was saying earlier. Like, more people are waking up to say this is some, you know, this is some BS. Like we need to take back the power as workers. So that's why I wanted to play that video. Did you have any thoughts, or is that the first time you saw that video? Or
no, I watched that live. That was amazing.
Oh yeah,
I had the same reaction then. It was just so amazing. But because I want to make a comment. So he said they've been on strike for over a year, right?
Yes.
And
or 200 and some odd days, coming up on a year.
Or okay, no, we're coming up on a year.
Yes.
So that's a long time. And yeah, we know striking works. Like the farmers in India just had their huge victory. They were on strike for over a year. We do not have that time right now, y'all. That's why I'm like, I love having this conversation. Like, this is in the right direction, but we don't have time for a year-long strike. We don't. We don't. But we're definitely heading in the right direction.
What do you think is going to take, Liv, for people to get the urgency you have? What do you think is going to take for other people? Like, do they literally need to see, like,
I think it takes empathy.
Shit going on fire, like next door, just combusting, and then they'll go, oh, okay, this is real. You think is that, like, there's no middle ground?
I think that's already happening. Like, I mean, look at it. We have our phones, we have social media. Like, we can see all this happening in real time. We can be watching it happening in real time somewhere. We can watch it. I mean, yeah, you're right. I think if it does happen in our communities, it makes a bigger difference. But I still think because of social media, it's part of the ways and Hollywood, you know, we can talk about this, the way Hollywood is used to, like, propagandize us and you know, get us thinking certain ways. You know, to vote against our own beliefs and our best interests.
Look at this comment.
Sorry.
Look at this comment. It's all based on what you're saying here. Yeah, some people will literally have a near-death experience before they say, okay, now this is real. And I just hope that we don't need too many people to have a near-death experience before they wake up. I'm hoping that it's not a lot, you know, it's not, you know, a lot of people. But let me share my screen again. Let me see if this is the video that I'm sharing. Yes. So this one here, another one from General Strike Summit. Afeni, Rome, Nick, and JB interview a Kellogg worker at the General Strike Summit. And this worker talks about, because he asks, like, why are you striking? He talks about the two-tier system and some other things. So I wanted to play this video, and I'm playing these videos from workers because it goes and ties into what we're talking about here, striking from your labor, whether that's quitting your job or going on strike, or using your labor as leverage. So let's go ahead and play this video here.
Hello, my name is Wyatt Elmore. I'm the mechanic at the Kellogg's plant, Battle Creek.
Thank you for coming on. It's an honor to speak to you. I would love to hear your story and why do you feel so driven to... I'm sure it looks cold over there.
It is a bit cold out here. I ain't gonna lie.
You are out there in the cold. Why, sir? Why? I would love to hear your story.
Yeah. Okay, so basically what we are on strike for is we're against the two-tier we have a 2-tier program going on here, and we're against that. So there's 30% aren't getting the same wages or the same benefits as the upper 70%, and so the upper 70% basically voted to support our lower tier people and support not only the people that are there now that are new, but the people that are going to be coming in new. So we're trying to protect their futures.
So this is what solidarity sounds like. Because the people with seniority could have just said, yeah, let those young workers get paid less. This is what solidarity with workers look like. And this is what divide and conquer attempts look like. Trying to attempt to divide and conquer the younger versus the newer, or the tenured versus the newer workers. And the tenured workers say, oh, no, we know this bullshit game. No way to that. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out, but let's finish this video here.
Because what I'm hearing, it's not just about pay, and it's not just about the 2-tier system. Can you touch on a couple of those as well?
Sure. There's some things that the company wants that we absolutely won't really tolerate, and that is they want to take the union logo off the box. So the average person that goes to buy a box of cereal doesn't know if it's been made in the U.S. or it's been made in Mexico. So if they take that union logo off the box, then the average person can't tell where it's been. So we're against that. We want our logo on there. We're proud of the product that we make. We're proud of the quality and the safety, the food safety that's involved. So without that being on there, we can't guarantee what's in that box.
Wow. It sounds like more than just a minor issue. I mean, that's a very big issue. And I appreciate you guys fighting for that as well. That's deeply important, because it's important for us to know where our food comes from. We were actually speaking about earlier about co-ops, and one of the things that we were speaking about is workers like yourself. You guys have a say in the goings on in the company, and I just want to, say that I have solidarity with all of you, and I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing, despite being out there in the blistering cold and trying to fight for workers' rights. Because this isn't just a model for yourselves; this is a model for many other workers across the country as well.
Yeah. And that last point that JB made is a great point. So yeah, I did want to interject just a couple of those clips from the General Strike Summit, because I do think that it kind of speaks to part of this topic that we're talking about, because it's all about worker leverage, it's all about worker unity, worker solidarity, it's all about workers coming together and saying no more of this nonsense. And to me, it's a beautiful thing. So every time these numbers come out about the Great Resignation live, like, I just love to see them go up and like more and more. So let me play another short video here from YouTube. This one is another local, corporate news outlet. So let's see how they cover it. From what I remember, if I remember this clip, it covers it a little bit better until the end. So let's see what I mean if I'm remembering correctly.
All right.
Resignation is far from over. The Department of Labor's last jobs report, a record 4.4 million people quit their jobs just in the month of September. Just in September. Employment expert Julie Balke joins us now to talk about why now the trend could kind of help you this holiday season. Good morning, Julie. Thank you so much for joining us. You and talk so much about resignation. I feel like I learned so much from those conversations, but now we're starting to see directly. A lot of us are seeing directly the effect of it because some of the big box stores are not opening on Thanksgiving. In part, I guess, because they don't have enough employees, but also they keep their current employees happy.
So I wanted to play it now. I remember it's the young lady here that is going to be giving some great critique, or some points, and not all, but some points, and that's the reason why I wanted to play it. So now I remember what it was. So let's get back to the video. Here we go.
Is that important for businesses to do that?
Yeah, the pendulum has swung significantly, and it's not going to go back anytime soon, or maybe ever. Employees, workers have more leverage than they ever have. It's sort of the exact opposite of 2008, when there was such a recession that the employer had the upper hand. So what we're seeing now in terms of stores closing, in terms of really an adjustment to how they deliver their goods and services, is to be expected. And I expect other companies to follow suit, as Target did. And, you know, we love to say, well, they just thought we all needed more time with our families. But it's really generally about, can they get people to show up and work? And people have said, yeah, no, you know, you can't, in some cases, you can't pay me enough to show up and work on Thanksgiving, because it's not always about money.
Yeah, that's it in very stark terms. Now, another reason that people, some people are leaving service industry jobs, we're told are rude customers. Now, as shoppers, how should we address that?
Yeah, so.
Now, this is the fluff, the corporate media fluff that I was talking about earlier, that the whole video. I mean, just the idea that everybody's quitting, or people would quit if they were being paid adequately. They would quit because they had a couple of rude customers. Like it's not serious to me, as Nick would say. It's just a deeply unserious question, really. But we're gonna let her finish this, because I think she has a couple of other good points later on. But let's let her finish this here.
Whether if you're in a position that deals with the general public, working for an airline, working in retail, anything that faces the general public, there has absolutely been an uptick in inappropriate, rude, hostile customer behavior. The general public is kind of not in a great mood right now. And unfortunately, they're taking it out on people they come across. And so all that's going to do is drive more people away from the service industry, because at a certain point they're going to say, I've had enough, just like a lot of hospitality workers did during the pandemic, when things were more shut down.
Yeah.
So first of all, don't be one of those people.
Yeah.
You know, second of all, you know, that what I've always read is from people, psychologists and people like that, the best thing to do when you're in a situation like that, where you see somebody behaving inappropriately, is don't confront them directly, but instead come to the aid of the person, direct your attention to the person they're attacking.
Yeah.
And try to help them feel comfortable and get away from the situation. And so those types of scenarios, again, are not going to go away, because everybody's upset about, I don't get the service I used to get. You're not doing the same things you used to do. And for some reason, some segment of our population is royally hacked off about that.
Yeah, Julie, we have about a minute left, so I wanted to make sure we get this question in. It's a nuance, but I think it's a significant nuance. Goldman Sachs recently found that 2.5 million people actually retired during the pandemic.
Now, you see how he throw in Goldman Sachs there? Like that's my cue to get the hell out of here. But so we got the information you wanted. But my point about the Goldman Sachs thing, they do this a lot. When I say they, corporate media, when you do that, when you use these terrible organizations as sources just nonchalantly, it desensitizes people to how awful these companies are. You know what I'm saying? It desensitizes you, in my opinion. So I got one more video, Liv, and then we're going to switch it up and go to mutual aid before we sign off on this episode. Let's put that video up that originally stopped working. Let's put it up. So this one right here is from Fox News. And all right, let's let this commercial play before I put it on the screen. Okay. All right, so I'm going to play this clip from Fox News. It's very interesting how Fox News covered the same topic. So let's go ahead and do that. And then, like I said, we're going to switch it up to mutual aid before we sign off on this episode. All right, so here is how Fox News covered people. You know, why are people quitting their jobs?
Their jobs, roughly 4 New numbers from the Department of Labor show millions of people quitting their jobs. Roughly 4.4 million workers quit their jobs in September, while officials reported more than 10 million job openings. Joining me now is Mike Rowe, host of How America Works on Fox Nation, and he is here with us to make it all sensible. Actually, it's Fox Business. Fox Business, prime time. And I also understand you're going to be at the Patriot Awards.
I'll be there. And you know what else is awkward? I'm wearing the same shirt here that I was in that promo. I hate when that happens.
It's a good shirt, though. Matches your eyes. What is going on? Why are all these people quitting their jobs but not taking the other jobs?
Look, I mean, the honest answer is a 300-page book. I can't get around to finishing. But in general, I think it's coming down to the ever-evolving definition of what a good job is, the expectations that most people have when it comes to determining what they want to do with the useful part of their life, money, incentives, disincentives, uncertainty. It's all swirling around. And look, it's really tempting to, get on the back porch and scream at the kids to get off the lawn vis-a-vis laziness and all of the other work ethic things
that there is what I was talking about. Like, that's what they believe in their own circles, what they're talking about. It's the kids get off the lawn, get back to work. It's the peasants, it's the workers, the real people, the real Americans, the people who make the money. We need you to go back to work, like, get off the lawn. Like, this is nonsense. You're going to work for these low wages. Like, that's how I felt that comment, that flippant comment was. But let's finish, play this video, a little more of this video.
Do love to talk about, but we can't blame people for acting in their own interests. And if we lay out a topography that ultimately encourages people to not work, then I'm afraid that's the fault in our stars. We're not going to do it. And so that's part of the problem. But ultimately, I think it's a real complex thing. Fundamentally, though, you can't argue with the numbers. 10.4 million open jobs. That has to mean, among other things, that opportunity is not dead if we can simply get around to making a more persuasive case for the opportunities we have.
So if parents or grandparents or young people are watching...
Another thing he just said, and that's the thing a lot of these corporations and companies do. They don't really change anything. What they do is say, we have to make a better case for the terrible job we already have. It's not a change. It's changing how we talk about the same pile of shit. You get what I'm saying, Liv? Your thoughts on that take? Have you noticed that too? Have you noticed anything like that where it's not a... You know what I mean? They're not really, we're improving. We're making our, work life better. They're not really changing anything. They're just making it seem different. Is that what you're getting to?
There's only so much reforming you can do with an already messed up system. Like that was built upon that. That's how it functions on. And this bullshit thing, I want to get the quote someone put in the comments. The honest answer is a 300-page book I haven't gotten around to finishing. The answer is capitalism, asshole. That's what it is. We hate capitalism. It sucks because y'all are exploiting us.
Yeah, capitalists will never say that. It's silly to them to think that that's what it is. Like, come on, guys. Capitalism? Come on. Like, and then to them, it's like, all my friends love capitalism because all your friends are part of capitalists. Exactly, all of your friends are part of the ruling class. So yeah. So let's finish this video off and get to mutual aid here. So here we go.
This program or your How America Works on Fox Business. What could they learn to maybe start to change that perception of what is a good job?
Yeah, right. I mean, I think so much of the debate always, the way we set the table is here are the employers and here are the employees and here's the gap and here's the problem. The shows I work on all attempt to remind the rest of us how much skin we have in the game. So on How America Works, for instance, tonight we look at salt production. We meet the men, a guy named Raul Flores down in Carlsbad, New Mexico, to get a better understanding of how reliant we are and what it takes to get it.
So now that he's talking about his show, I'm going to use this opportunity to point out something also. So you think corporate media brings on guests, random guests to talk about. This guest was brought on to talk about his show. This is to promote his show. What he's saying about the segment is just irrelevant. They wanted to bring him on to do this cross promotion because it's only about selling advertising dollars to them. The news is inconsequential. The conversation, that's why they have to have just ridiculous conversations and be more ridiculous than the other segment, because it's just keeping you here to watch the commercials for advertising a dollar. So this person wasn't randomly picked about the topic. He was purposely selected and placed here because he wants they're promoting his show and they're trying to tie it into. So I'm going to end it there on that because I'm just tired of watching corporate news. So Liv, let's switch to mutual aid and what we promised ourselves, or not promised, but just said that a while ago, weeks ago, that we want to start just doing mutual aid segments on this show every week. So let's bring up Liv's account or Liv's page, and then we're gonna do shout out some mutual aid that you're doing. Maybe go to Feeney's mutual aid page and kind of shout out some of that mutual aid there. Mutual aid is how we're going to survive. Mutual aid is how we're going to sustain each other, build a community. So we're on Liv's page. Just let me know, where to stop.
Oh, I can't really see it. It's tiny.
This
What is
one,
it?
oh, I can read it for you, and then you can. I forgot you're on your phone. Got our hotel for another night. Is that a mutual?
No, that was just kind of an update. We're staying in our hotel again. Yeah, we're trying to figure out. We're in our hotel till Friday. Tomorrow I have a therapy session, and we're gonna. So I got it so we could have that therapy session to talk about the next best step. I did have a mutual aid request for myself, or crowd raising. Where? Actually, can you go up? That was Miranda. I wanted to boost that one.
Oh,
that
Miranda.
right there. Miranda, that one. This is someone we really got to help out, y'all. This comrade and their son who is sick, who recently escaped an abusive relationship. They are trying to secure a home. They are trying to raise money right now. There's their Cash App. Please retweet, boost, follow. Donate if you can. We got to help them out. We got to help them get a home. They've been sleeping in their car right now. They need a place to stay. Please help them.
Awesome. Oh, I was just looking for your tweets. I wasn't even thinking other. So if I just in case I missed something else, I'm gonna go back up. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we did a shout out to that one. I think I have one I posted about gas. Is that one it?
Right here, yes. Let me blow this one up for you if you can see it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this one says, "Comrades, please help. I need $30 for gas. Can anyone please pitch in some gas money?" And then it has your Venmo here and your Cash App here. You want to update people? I know on Populist Voice you've been talking about. You want to update people here on what's happening while you're in Pennsylvania.
So I'm in Baltimore right now.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. So it's I am here hotel living with my 3 animals and I. We are looking for a place to stay for the next, hopefully, only 2 to 3 months until our permanent home, which is going to be a schoolie, is up and running. Right now, some of my options. The one I am hoping works out that I kind of just tweeted about that other one that you brought up about. My cousin told me about WWOOF, WWOOF. It's about it's like a network of organic farmers that you can live and work.
So I am hoping that works out. I found a great farm in Pennsylvania that I'm hoping works out, and I'm hoping I hear back from them soon. But I'm not sure if y'all have a place where we could crash. Please DM me. Willing to travel.
Right. So mutual aid. So this is a good point to talk about. Mutual aid is not just monetary. Mutual aid could be, it could be a jacket, it could be providing a space to live, a night, or something like that. So all of that is mutual aid. Shout out or hit up Liv on Twitter at Liv_Romano. That's also her Twitter, or I'm sorry, also her. Is it Cash App or Venmo? That's
also my Venmo, and my Cash App is $Liv Romano 526.
Okay, I'm gonna blow this up in just a second so they can see that. But this is another one you have here.
Yes, that's another one. Please boost that one.
This one is please don't ignore. I need help for my mom's dialysis. I badly need some help for her treatment today. We need $100 for her session. My wage of work can only cover one of 2 sessions. Like, this is terrible. Like, this is mutual aid. This is so many things involved in this. There's mutual aid involved in this to me. There's Medicare for all involved in this for me. Because $150 a session to do dialysis, which is life-saving, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous that a person has to pay that money. So please, if you're able to assist, this is the person's PayPal. If you're able to do so, or just share. If you're not able to do so, share. Maybe somebody else who hears this can. Let's do a couple more. Is this the same one or something different here?
Nope, that's another one. So our last hotel room double charged us. Booking.com charged us, and then the hotel charged us $274. And I do not know. I meant to call them this morning and I forgot. But I called last night and I haven't heard back from them. I do not know when we're going to be refunded this money, and I could really use it for food, a hotel room. Please help.
So they double charged you here. This is
I was like, why am I paying again? I already paid through Booking. He's like, oh no, it's just the like an incidental charge. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. My gut told me not to.
And they said, oh, is it one of those things where if the cost is $200, it holds $400. It holds like double the amount, and then it refunds you. Something like that is what they told you.
He said it was for like, I don't even remember what he called it at this point, but I was like, oh, it's not actually going to charge you, and then it's just processing, so it should go away by Monday. But Monday came and it was fully out of my account.
Yeah, that's how capitalism works. It's easy to take the money, but when you try to get your money back for their subpar work, you can never. You always have a hassle. That's just what happens. So this is that original tweet there. So that's what that one is. And then let's see if there's any last ones.
You should do a shout out, Ghislaine Maxwell's trial.
Yes, I see a lot. We're talking about this at the
8 p.m.
8 p.m. The New Left here on the Revolutionary Blackout Network. We'll be talking about this very topic here, about the case and about the Maxwell case and about who Maxwell is, about her connection to the CIA, her connection to her father's connection, I should say. So this Maxwell case has more involved than a lot of people talk about. So we'll be covering that tonight at 8. I was looking for some more mutual aid. I do see a lot of this great content.
You should pull up Afeni. I know Afeni was trying to do hygiene kits.
That is true. So let's go to Afeni. We're gonna end. Let me look at this. Okay, so we're doing good on time. So let's go to Afeni here. So let's see. Mutual aid. Oh, I know she's putting together. Oh, here it goes. So here's her original tweet. Here, Lee Camp just donated some money. Great, thanks, Lee. So this is her original tweet. So tomorrow I'm going to be giving out hygiene bags. I have a goal of 350 this week, so please donate. And then this is her Cash App and Venmo. Everybody can see that clearly. Or if you, I can see it. So you can see that clearly. And then she just kind of it has a couple of pictures of what the bags will look like if my computer will bring it up. So some of the items that she's going to be putting in these hygiene bags. But this is the type of work that we're going to have to do. Getting back to our community roots as a human species. I know I said that pronunciation might have been wrong, but getting back to that is what this is. And if you're able to assist Afeni, please do so. I'm trying to look for her freedom fighter.
Isn't it in? Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, freedom fighter was GC.
There we go.
I thought she had it in her bio.
I did too, but I think she changed it. She did.
Okay.
But she changed it a little bit.
There you go. Oh wow, look at oh my god, I think they've grown so big since I last checked. Wow. Look at that.
Freedom Fighter DC. So where am I looking at? Okay, so let's scroll down. Freedom Fighters. They're just promoting
Yeah,
again.
there's one. She retweeted that.
Yeah, they're promoting the Feeney and Freedom Fighters. They promote a lot of different groups. Love their logo there. Freedom Fighter DC new logo that they're promoting there. And same thing here. If you're able to give to this mutual aid group, this is their Cash App and Venmo. Please
hit them up, y'all.
Yeah, please donate if you can. This group does great work. This is a Feeney's group or their group she's a part of. So make sure if you're able to give, please do so. Promoting this also 7 days of giving. And these are the 7 days there. You're giving in for freedom writing, you're doing dismantling propaganda, radical love, mutual aid, Wednesday, Black Friday, liberate the streets, and radical healing. I love all of those.
Love it.
So Afeni and her mutual aid group, and there's another one she likes to shout out. I'll scroll and see if it's quickly here. I can't remember if it's Texas Hoochies or something Hoochies. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I want to actually. I think I follow them. Let me see if it'll pop up if I quickly type in their name here. No, they are not popping up. But actually, no. Here it goes.
There you go.
There we go. So Hoochies of Houston. This is another grassroots organization dedicated to empowerment of Black people and protection of Black women. They're Hoochies helping humans. So they're taking what some may think is a derogatory word and flipping it. This is very common in the Black community. This is how we flip the word bad and it means good. Good now. This is why a lot of Black people still use the N-word because it started out bad and they're trying to take it and depower it. So I know there's some people that don't feel that, but I'm just giving you the gist. So yeah, they do a lot of great work here. So make sure you check them out. I'm trying to see if they have their Cash App readily.
It looks like that was a GoFundMe. What?
Yeah, that's what I was looking. Oh, did you see it at the top?
If you keep going down, it looks like they had a post that was a GoFundMe.
Okay, let me see.
Boost and share.
This one here. Please boost me and my disabled husband are in need of immediate assistance. We are trying to keep our home, and if you could donate or donate, we would really appreciated. Anything help, no matter how small you feel. So this one here, trying to see if I could. So go. I don't see a link that I can put up directly for this. Is what I was looking for, Liv, and I don't see that there. It's a screenshot. So if you go to the Hoochies of Houston's page or profile, it is on their page there. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't see anything else in the comments that would let us know. But yeah, they do a lot of great work. People helping people, humans helping humans, and in this case, Hoochies helping Hoochies. I'm sorry, Hoochies helping humans. Love that. I love that. How they embrace that. So yeah, Liv, what are your thoughts on this mutual aid work that you're doing, that Afeni's doing, that more people are doing? Like more people are saying, hey, let's help each other because our government's not doing it.
Keep it up. Keep it up. I love it. I love to see it. I love to see it because that is revolutionary. That is the path forward. That is what's going to save us. We're only going to save ourselves, and mutual aid is the way we can make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I think that's going to be our last one. Some people have some comments about Michael Rowe, so I just wanted to drop those on there. So I think that's going to be our last mutual aid shout out for this live stream. We will be doing this every week. Yeah, shout out to Lee Kim, friend of the show. He donated to Afeni and her trying to put together those hygiene bags. So lots of great work. We have superheroes amongst us. Like we have superheroes. So you don't need to watch, Marvels or
you
whatever.
are a superhero. You are a superhero yourself.
We have, yes, thank you, and you are too. We are our superheroes helping
We all
each
are.
other. So yeah, I want to leave it here. Stay strong. Sorry if I missed a lot of great comments. I was just not able to get to all of them. But we're gonna end it on that note. Great resignation. Millions of people quitting. 4.4 in September, and in August it was 4.3. So people are quitting. Almost 11 million job openings. People are saying our labor is our power, and we're taking it back. And I'm loving every minute of it. Liv, any last words from you? Anything coming up? Anything you want to shout out, Liv?
This is really awkward because I don't feel, I don't know. I'm still getting over to the feeling of asking for help like this because I've been, focusing on mutual aid for this, for everyone else right now, but I could really use some help right now. If you can support, retweet, donate, if you have a place that, like 3 animals and I could crash for a few months, please let me know. I also would love to be doing more mutual aid work. Please help support that. Support Roan, support Afeni, support doing it yourself, starting up a free pantry or something. Yes. Oh, thank you, Dan. But y'all are superheroes. We're just humans. So we can do this. If we can do this, you can do this. And the only thing that's stopping you is you. So just find your own super strength and use it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have something to give.
Yes.
We all have a place in the revolution.
Absolutely. And just wanted to get those last couple of comments in because I did see lots of great comments. So I want to get as many in as I can. Yeah, there we go. Humans helping humans. I think that's a good last comment to put up for this episode. Humans helping humans. So we're going to be signing off here straight out of politics. I'm your host, Compton Jay, along with my co-host, Liv. We're going to be signing off. What do we have coming up today at 5:30? We have conversations with leftists We'll be talking about the main topic is the Cuomo cover-up, what Chris Cuomo will be talking about. Of course, we're going to touch up on a lot of other things. And then at 8 o'clock, we have the Maxwell case that we're going to be talking about. And just Maxwell in general, the whole cover-up, all the important people involved who mainstream media is not talking about. So we'll be talking about that tonight. Tomorrow we have the roundtable. On Friday we have the Savvy Show. And I think Nick is going to be doing something on Friday also. So make sure you check us out. Make sure you check out the Populist Voice. When is your show again, Liv?
Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully you're able to stream. I don't know.
Don't know where I'm going to be then.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see.
Hopefully it happens. Yes.
Yeah. So awesome. So we're going to be signing off here. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for everybody who watched, everybody who comment. Sorry, the super chats are kind of deactivated until we get our new account set up with the whole change of everything. So sorry for those who wanted to do that, but you can still support us. Liv's Cash App. Let me put your name up there because it's right there. So you can see Liv's Cash App, Liv's Venmo there, and then in the scrolling bar there you have my Cash App and Venmo. So if you want to support us, you can still do so through those avenues. And I think that's it. So this is it. So sign it off. See everybody later on today, and thank you for joining us.